Hey buddy, Jim from Jim's Coleus of Coleus. Before I start this video, I can't film this without mentioning, and again, my channel is not about politics. I don't try to get into anything other than Coleus. I'm trying to have fun here, make life as enjoyable as possible, and that's really what my channel is all about. I try to teach you best I can. I'm not perfect, but I do my best to make growing Coleus as fun as possible. I do my best to get as many Coleus out there, but again, I can't really film this without mentioning how badly I feel how disgusted I am about what's going on in Israel and the attacks against the Israeli people. Okay, so let's get started. I have a great video set up for you. I sort of got this idea based on some comments that I got, some questions that I got from an Instagram user. And this is what I love about my Instagram, my YouTube comments, gives me ideas, because I'm always looking for ideas to make my channel better. I'm not a professional videographer. I get comments about my videos. I'm not going to go into people's negative comments. I get clearly more positive comments than negative. But yeah, I try to learn from previous videos. My teaching style is repetition, and some may look at that as going on and on and on and so forth, but that's the whole idea. That's how I teach those of you who watch my videos. So somebody had made a comment on one of my YouTube videos about why would you go through the hassle? I think it was the hassle of growing Coleus from seed. Why go through that as opposed to just making cuttings, growing cuttings and planting them and so forth? So this video is going to clarify that and clarify maybe some things that you didn't know about growing Coleus from seed, what you do with your cuttings, and so forth, and overwintering Coleus. So let's get started. Short and sweet. I think it's going to be an enjoyable video. All right, before we get started, head over to Jim's Coleus on eBay. I have Coleus seeds listed. Get your Coleus now. If you can either plant them now, if you live in a non-winter zone, warm zone, or wait until spring. But get your Coleus seeds. I have about at least a dozen packs listed right now. I'll be updating them as I sell them. Sold an awful lot already. Get yours while they last. I have about 12 varieties, but each pack, I'm not going to put all 12 in each pack. You get about 6 to 7 varieties per pack. Take a look at the list that I have. I generally pack them, but if there's a particular Coleus variety that you really want, I will try my best to accommodate for you. So just shoot me a message when you make your purchase, and I'll make sure that you get those Coleus seeds. I have many more Empire Coleus seeds than Saturns, Defiance, Kong Reds, and so forth. I have a limited amount of Saturns. I have a limited amount of Kong Reds. I don't have an abundance of every variety, but you will get more seeds from me than my competitors, and they're fresh seeds, packed by me. I dry them out from mature Coleus seed stalks from the plants featured on my YouTube channel. They're non-patented, legal to propagate Coleus seeds, which means there are certain Coleus varieties that are not legal for me to sell. There are plenty of others that I sell that you're not going to find in stores. So, and I do separate them, and they're marked in each of these packs. So go to Jim's Coleus on eBay, get your Coleus seeds, and let's have fun together and grow Coleus. Part of your purchase is you get me. You get my guidance. If you have any issues, any problems, you need guidance. If you don't have a green thumb, no green thumb needed. That's my motto. I can help you grow. These are so easy to grow. There's little things little mistakes people make. That's why Coleus seeds don't germinate. So follow along here, Jim's Coleus. Get your Coleus seeds, Jim's Coleus, and let's get on with the video. Okay, so as I had mentioned, a follower, a subscriber had mentioned on one of my YouTube videos, why go through the hassle? They mentioned it as a hassle of growing Coleus from seed, and I'm not being critical at all. It's a good point. Why go through the hassle, or why grow Coleus from seed? What's the purpose of growing them from seed when maybe you can go to a nursery and get Coleus and just plant them, or you can order live Coleus plugs on Rosie Dawn Gardens, which I do, which are excellent. Why would you grow from seed? Why not just take a bunch of rootings like this Saturn rings, just take tons of rootings and keep the rootings going and then pot them like this? You know, like perfect example here. Here's this beautiful jitters variation, which I'll include in my Jim's Coleus seeds. You'll get a bunch of jitters Coleus seeds. Not every one will guarantee to be this. Some of them may be just like this here, or you may get some that look like this. They're mixed in. But that's the exciting thing, and that's really the point of my video on why I like to grow Coleus from seed. But why go through seed after when you can just take your beautiful Coleus rooting like this watermelon, which is doing fantastic. I was really surprised that this has taken off and is continuing, because these are so delicate. But why not just take this now with all these beautiful roots and plant it in a pot? Why don't I do that? Why go through the effort of planting Coleus seeds? And the reason why I personally do it, and I'm going to get into all the other points in a minute. The reason why I do it, I use these Jiffy Pods trays because I grow 500 Coleus every season for the farmer's market. And that's the main reason, because I can take a small footprint like this tray, and I will plant about 4 of these trays and grow multiple Coleus in each pod. And then, with very little space, have a large amount of Coleus growing, and eventually they'll be moved out to my greenhouse where I have lots more room, and by that point they'll be larger Coleus like this. So that's a reason. That's the reason why personally I grow Coleus from seed. That's my main reason. The second reason is I have these cuttings. These are Saturn rings. These are beautiful. This is gorgeous. I love these. These are like my favorite, but they're so difficult to grow. They're so temperamental. They're so slow and delicate. I don't have much luck in keeping a lot of these. They're not as hardy as Empires, but I love these. All right, I love these. I have these flamingos here. I love these as well. I have my fishnet stockings cuttings. I have my Lord Voldemort cuttings. I have so many cuttings that I keep. So why not just take cuttings and keep cuttings and plant them? Well, again, I grow so many, I can't keep 500 cuttings in here, nor do I want to, because these are what they are. I see them here now, and these are beautiful, but when you grow 500 Coleus like I do, you are going to get variations such as these jitters, beautiful variations. This one's not doing that great, I just saved this, but beautiful mutations, variations, cross pollinations and so forth, like this Saturn. Now this is an overwintered pot, but when you grow them from seed, you get that excitement. And that's what it is to me. It's excitement that I never know what's going to show up. And that's what drives so many professional, large-scale Coleus growers that actually breed Coleus, that cross-pollinate themselves and create all these beautiful new varieties. And that's the excitement that I have a small part of. So that's the reason why I grow Coleus from seed. The next question I get, and these are all valid questions, is, okay, all right, see, I got this Lord Voldemort, it's in water, I'm rooting it, it's already got lots of roots. Why not just put it in a pot now? Why keep them in water all fall and winter and have to change the water and all? Why don't you just pot them? Well, I could do that. And you could do that too. They're your plants. They're my plants. I can do whatever I want. But I choose to keep rootings for my own personal reasons. I love them. Look at this beautiful Saturn rings in this green vase. This is a beautiful decoration, and it's well worth the weekly water changes, or as close to weekly as we can, to keep it going. And look at the roots, and look how nice and clean and healthy this is. And again, touching back on your rootings and your cuttings, weekly or regular, consistent water changes is how you do it. And this Saturn rings, for the most part, I feel pretty confident that this will make it through the fall, winter, and this will be a beautiful, beautiful plant in late spring when I do pot it. Okay, so I keep rootings for my own reason, for my own purpose. For decoration, I choose not to have overwintered Coleus in my home. I do have a few, like this one. I have some left over from the farmer's market. I keep very little. I used to keep really large ones in the house, but I choose not to. If something really grabs my eye, I might bring it inside, like this Saturn. I trimmed it a lot. Bringing this in, it's got a seed stalk coming in, although this is a Defiance. I'm going to keep this in as an overwintered Coleus. So I keep a small amount of overwintered Coleus. And if you're going to keep overwintered Coleus, the best advice I can give you is bright light. Get it to a window in your house, preferably a southeast facing window that's going to get as much sun throughout the day as possible. If you have a bay window like I have, where it gets sun and it's warm and it's bright and it's surrounded by sunlight, that's magnificent. You have a really good chance of keeping your overwintered Coleus happy. Now, it will slow down. It will start to thin out a little. You're going to lose leaves. It's not going to look as vibrant. It's not going to grow as quickly, not nearly as quickly as the growing season. So you're not going to go crazy with fertilizer. If you use time-release fertilizer in your soil, let that stay. Don't add fertilizer. You don't want to overwinter Coleus are basically going into hibernation, so you don't want to go crazy with fertilizer. So if you have time-release fertilizer pellets in there, that's fine. Water it regularly. Give it lots of light. Trim it. If you see leaves dropping, don't worry, especially when you first bring them in. When you first bring in your Coleus from outside indoors, there's a shock period. It's used to being outside. It's going to drop leaves. And I'm not going to tell you that it's not going to die. There are some Coleus, I've lost plenty. I've lost plenty of plants that I brought inside. For the most part, they live, but it depends on the plant. You may lose it. It may look terrible after a few months. You may not be. It may look like sort of like this, where it has lost a good percentage of its foliage. So don't worry about that. Keep it watered. Keep it by a bright window, and it will grow. You will see new growth up top. If you start seeing the new growth up top, then you know you're doing good, and you know you have a healthy plant. So all down here, check on the bottom. Make sure you check insects. Also going back, digressing, Before you bring your overwintered Coleus indoors, check the leaves. You see any holes, that means there's a little critter under there. Check underneath the leaves. Check below through the soil. If you have some insect spray soap, give it a shot of insect spray soap before you bring your plants in. Make sure you don't have any insects before you bring them in, but bright light, that's the key to keeping overwintered Coleus. So, all right, so I hope this is a real short and sweet Coleus Jiffy Pods for seeds. This is a large tray. They come in 10, they come in 4. The trays are great because they have the pods, easy to follow instructions. They have the dome, and it just creates the perfect ecosystem for growing Coleus from seeds. So Jiffy Pods, I highly recommend them. I use them all the time, especially if you're going to purchase seeds from me. Again, head over to Jim's Coleus on eBay, get some seeds, and we can grow the Coleus together. So, okay, so just summarizing, keep your water changes going. Always look in these on the bottom, see if there's any fuzziness or cloudy water. That may be the bottom part. There might be some rotting going on. It's okay to trim that. Don't trim the roots. If your Coleus is getting really root bound, don't trim the Coleus roots. Leave them. They will fill up. Make sure you don't get any stragglers, but it's very important to as weekly water changes or as consistently as you can. Change your water, and before you know it, you'll have lots of healthy roots, and then you can do what you want with your plants. If you want to plant them in pots and keep pots in your house now for overwintering, you can do that. Or do like I do and just keep them as rootings all year long. I have them up on my window in my living room. As if you're following, those of you who are following along know, they just make a fantastic decoration, especially in the late evening. Later in the day, when the sun comes into my bay with my little windows in my living room, it comes through these colored vases, and it looks so beautiful, and it does wonders for the Coleus too. They do very well there. So, all right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it's nice and short and sweet. And stay tuned for more Jim's Coleus. And don't forget, head over to Jim's Coleus on eBay. Get my Coleus seeds while I have them. If you do have them and you're in a winter zone like I am in New Jersey, just put them in a cool, dark closet, or you can put them in the refrigerator. I don't freeze seeds, but a cool, dark place, and they will last. Coleus seeds last up to 5 years. The Coleus seeds I sell are fresh from plants I harvest from my videos from this year. So if you are planning to grow Coleus from seed, and this is your first time doing it, scroll through my videos. I have specific videos on how to use these Jiffy Pods. Just scroll through there. They're listed in the title on how to actually use these. It's so easy. You will get so hooked on growing these beautiful plants, and they last. You can make pots up, gifts, perfect for Mother's Day, gifts, friendship. It is much better than wasting money on, although cut flowers are great, there's nothing like making up your own Coleus arrangement and giving it to a friend or a loved one. It's really, really great. And that's another reason why I sell them. I create my pots and sell them at the farmer's market. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, everybody. Prayers to the people in Israel. Take care and stay tuned. There's always more here on Jim's Coleus. Take care. Thank you.